Hi everyone. Today I'm going to be going over your negative space discussion homework. And to do this homework, you need to choose an item that has really good negative space. A plant works well, a chair works well. Today I'm going to be drawing a little easel. So this little easel sets up, it has some really nice kind of holes and places to see through that if I set up at an angle will be really interesting. So this is going to be my still life. A sandal works good. Again, plants work well. So choose something around the house that has that kind of negative space. For supplies, you're going to need compressed charcoal, a kneaded eraser, a little piece of newsprint, and your sketchbook. And the first thing we're going to do is we're actually going to cover our entire sketchbook page with charcoal. So this is a little messy. It's okay. It's part of art. So we're just going to use the side of the charcoal and add a nice layer. Then I'm going to take my newsprint, I'm going to fold it to where it's comfortable for my hand, and then I'm going to blend. So now I have a pretty even layer of charcoal on my the sketchbook. And I'll be using a kneaded eraser for this exercise. And for this exercise, we want to draw with our eraser and subtract out all the negative spaces and leave where the charcoal is that image of this little easel that I'm drawing or whatever your subject is. So I'm going to approach this. Let's see. I'm going to start at the bottom, and I'm looking at the shape that the bottom of that little easel creates as it touches the table. Then I'm going to look that it has these kind of legs in the back, and then a connecting arm. And it goes to the other leg. But the whole time, I'm actually not thinking about the leg of that easel. Instead, I'm trying to see what is the shape that I see here. Now I'm going to move into this interior part. And that looks like a long rectangle, but that rectangle also gets interrupted by a part of the stand right here where the little easel has another leg that is showing. So I need to leave out that part. Now I'm going to go into this section here, which also is like a long rectangle, but it's almost like a trapezoid. It has the angles aren't right angles, but rather they're pretty askew and open. So something like that. Then I can go back and finish the exterior of that and think about at what angle it starts to slope upward. I'm going to continue on the bottom on this side. So there's a little leg, then a pretty sharp angle here. Extends out. That's where you would put a little piece of mat board or a photo. And it kind of curves a little bit. And then, yeah, it does something like goes around that form, and then it starts to again angle upward. So I'm looking at the angle here, and then it goes up from there. So now I'm gonna erase a little bit upward, and I'm going to continue on the interior of this. So I'm going to think about the angle that I see here above this like arm or armature, and the one that goes up. And then this part of the arm actually comes out and interrupts that. It's like almost looks like the end of a little Christmas sleigh. And I'm looking at what shape do I see in here? What shape do I see above that? And then at what slope is it going up? And it's actually the same slope as the one outside. So I'm also, you know, like keeping track kind of where the edges of that outside of the frame are. Now there's another arm here, like connection point that creates that little easel. So something like that. And then this arm curves, and there's another, like there's an angle here that I can draw and erase out. And then the other side. So the entire point of this exercise is to get you to look at the outside of the object. So instead of drawing the object itself, we're drawing all the areas around it. And that's really what we mean by negative space, is that like currently I'm erasing all the negative space, and my subject is being revealed, but I've worked all the way around it. Now, the reason why we're doing this exercise is to get us to think about the spaces and forms and shapes around objects. We won't always be doing this kind of subtractive drawing while looking at negative space. We'll talk a lot more about negative space in our next unit. But I want you guys to practice this, this idea that you can see this as a form, that you can see this as a rectangle, that you can see this as a form that's being interrupted, because that's going to be really important for us in terms of drawing and getting better at observation as we move forward and we start to make more and more complex forms. And just notice that I'm missing a little part. Maybe I'll add it back in. But don't worry about that. It's okay if it's not perfect. It's actually not meant to be perfect. So this is your negative space homework.